After a very, very standard Electronic Arts press conference and an exceptionally outstanding Microsoft press conference, we hit Bethesda. Whether it's the full reveal with a lot of details and a lot of good stuff to be shown for Fallout 76, new content for Prey, or sequels to games like Doom, there's a lot of good stuff that Bethesda has in the near future and in the far future as well. And I think that they had a really good presentation overall. Now, I'm not going to say that they did as good as Microsoft because I feel like you really shouldn't be able to compare them as much due to the fact that Microsoft had 50 games. They're a huge publisher, and it's a different story. We're talking about Xbox. Bethesda is just specifically Bethesda, but they made a lot of good moves. So alone, Bethesda's press conference is actually really good.
The Elder Scrolls speak of the past and the future. Now, Skyrim looks to the future, to its ultimate version.
Let's just talk about Elder Scrolls right now. They had a lot of Elder Scrolls content at E3. Free updates and new versions of unique games in the series, or, of course, Elder Scrolls 6. Todd Howard literally says, the one you've been waiting for, and he gives us his tease to Elder Scrolls 6. It's literally just a tease, so of course we're not going to get it for a few years, and they've already been saying that. I'm actually surprised that it was here, but that's kind of cool that they dropped the bomb like that at the ending. I think that was a really fun way to end it too. And Elder Scrolls 6 is one of the most anticipated games right now for people just because of how much clout Skyrim has. Everyone loves that game. Bethesda made sure that they made a joke about Skyrim being everywhere, which I actually quite liked a lot. I really enjoyed that little Amazon Alexa joke, and it was just fun.
Alexa, play Skyrim.
You're level 57 and see a tall snowy mountain.
Climb it.
And they had a lot of fun on this show, especially showing that they have a good sense of humor. Elder Scrolls Online is getting new content, and it's looking bigger and bigger and bigger each day. And that Elder Scrolls Legends, as I actually predicted, is making its way over to consoles, including Switch. And I think that game looks kind of perfect for Switch. And Elder Scrolls Legends is getting a new overhaul too. So they're adding a lot of content to these two games, which I knew was going to come. It's not a huge surprise, but it's still pretty pleasant for people who play those games. And then there is a big surprise. Elder Scrolls Blades is a mobile game. Now, I believe he did say it's actually going to come to all platforms, but right now it's a free mobile game that's coming out, and it's like a full Elder Scrolls game. This looks sick, and you can even play in portrait mode, which is kind of different for a game like that. You wouldn't expect to be able to hold your phone that way and play. And it looks pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not overall a huge Elder Scrolls fan, but I definitely respect the series. I am willing to try more games in there, and I think that Blades looks really dope, and it's a mobile game. It's free, so you can just pick it up and play. You don't have to go and buy a new game for your console. So I think that that's awesome to let mobile players get a chance to experience Elder Scrolls like that. Clearly, Bethesda loves this franchise. Even though it's been around for so long, they're still finding new ways to innovate. So overall, they really did a good job at keeping Bethesda's huge franchise of Elder Scrolls completely relevant and just getting people hyped. Fallout 76 is that massive game that everyone wanted to see more of. Microsoft actually showed it at their press conference. They even had Todd Howard come over there and talk a little bit about it and show us a really awesome trailer. I absolutely love this trailer. I feel like the music and the vibes just really fit the setting and just Fallout in general. And I think this game looks really, really, really good. Ironically, like Elder Scrolls, this is a series that hasn't clicked with me like it does with so many other gamers. Again, I have the utmost respect for it. It is a really cool series, and Fallout 76 actually is changing things, and it looks awesome in what it's going to do.
300 years after our great nation began, we gathered together to honor the completion of Vault 76.
This idea of a world that you can play with your friends, but you could also play by yourself, is sort of a thing of the modern day with gaming. I think of Anthem, which we saw a couple days ago at EA, and now we're seeing it with Fallout. And it's sort of that shared world idea that a lot of people are digging, and I think Fallout 76 is going to be a lot of fun to play with your friends, because I could imagine it'll help you a lot to be able to kill enemies with your friends, but you could also go against them, and that's probably fun too, like a multiplayer competitive game. Fallout 76 had those really great Vault Tech little commercials. I absolutely love those animated videos. I think that they're super funny and charming, and I love that Bethesda still does them. I hope they never stop. They're some of my favorite things that Bethesda's ever done, if I'm being completely honest, just because they're just fun to watch. The game looks beautiful. There's a lot of really awesome new enemy designs, The world is just a behemoth. I could not believe that they kept talking about how it's so much bigger than Fallout 4 is, and that's already a big game. So Bethesda knows how to make open world games. We know that. It's no secret, no surprise. But they're really improving on Fallout, and we're going back in time to a different setting and a different time where things were not the same as they are in all the Fallout games that we know and love. So I'm actually really excited to see how this works out, and I think that anyone who even possibly likes Fallout will have their hands on this for sure. And it's coming out in November, so there you go. Another game for this holiday season that is gonna sell like hotcakes for sure, because Fallout is a revered brand.
Ultimately, America itself.
When the bombs fall, most shelters will provide minimal protection against the horrors of nuclear.
When Todd Howard mentioned another anniversary, I actually thought he was going to talk about Fallout 3, but that was not even mentioned. Fallout Shelter, yeah, 3-year anniversary. So the free-to-play game that was not on PS4 yet is making its way over there, but it's also making its way over Switch, which I feel like is literally a perfect place for it. I'm gonna totally go download it and play it. I haven't even really played it on like my phone or PC or Xbox yet, so I'm definitely excited to give it a chance on Switch, because anything that feels like a game that you can have on the go on that platform is perfect, and I'm glad that Bethesda's doing that. This is also sort of a testament to how much Bethesda supports Nintendo. Right away last year, we got Doom, we got Skyrim, we're getting Wolfenstein 2, and now we're getting this on top of like Elder Scrolls Legends, and probably so much more, and I love that. I absolutely really do appreciate that Bethesda is one of Nintendo's biggest third-party supporters, and I never would have expected that 2 years ago. The new content for last year's Prey looks awesome, and it makes me want to play the game finally, because I actually haven't yet, and I'm very mad at myself for not doing so. They're adding in
an infinitely replayable experience called Moon Crash.
It's a new twist on Prey where the enemies, hazards, and loot are all different each time you play.
Everything is just generated randomly, and you keep restarting this sort of simulation, but everything's different. Different enemies, different weapons, different items, different everything.
Let's get to work.
And I guess it's basically letting you see how long you can last. And it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a really cool simulation, trials kind of thing. And I'm glad that they're adding a mode like that. They're also adding another thing where you play against a few other people, and they can disguise themselves as inanimate objects, literally anything, and totally jump out at you. And it looks like something really cool. I really appreciate them adding some sort of multiplayer aspect like that. And that actually sounds like a lot of fun to play with your friends. I think that it's going to be really good, and I love that they're supporting Prey.
God turned his back on humanity long ago. It wasn't a war. It wasn't global warming. It was a fucking asteroid.
When Rage 2 was announced after the Walmart leak, I felt like I was excited, even though no one else was. But no, in all honesty, Rage 2 looks like my kind of game. It looks perfect for me. You have this open world with just crazy shooting and action and driving, and it looks like an amazing time. Avalanche Studios knows how to make open world action games. Just Cause is just crazy. There's so much explosions and violence and just over-the-top movie action. And Mad Max was such a beautiful world to drive around in and have some intense car combat and melee combat. You combine those kind of games with Doom, an amazing, fast-paced, bloody, violent, intense shooter, and Avalanche Studios and id Software are probably going to make one of my favorite games. I could see myself absolutely loving this, so I'm glad that they showed us some good gameplay for it. I am just very excited to play.
Listen, children. I've been fighting all my life for this world.
Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, as well as its predecessor, The New Order, are some of my favorite games this generation. I absolutely loved The New Colossus, though. I remember playing that a lot more.
They're gonna send everything they have at you.
Now we're getting more Wolfenstein, and I'm all for it 100%. It's called Wolfenstein Young Blood, and you actually play as BJ Blazkowicz's daughters. That's different, and that's really cool, and it's in Paris. And the trailer was actually super cool. I like that we're going to get a new character, and we're going to get a new setting, and just something different, but it's still connected to Wolfenstein. And I love that they continue to support this franchise after they rebooted it in 2014. It is better than ever right now. I had recently played a little more of Doom 2016, and wow, it is just so good. They announced the sequel, and I was just amazingly hyped. My smile was on my face. I was just getting chills because I love Doom. id Software's reboot of the franchise from 2 years ago was so fast, so violent, so over the top and intense and a lot of fun to play. Awesome gunplay. An exciting time for sure. Doom Eternals is coming out. Unfortunately, they couldn't talk a whole lot about it. And it just gets better because they said, like, they answered all of our questions. They're like, you want to feel more overpowered than ever? You got it. There's like twice as many awesome demons. They're going to appeal to everything that you love and that you want from Doom. So this might be my most anticipated game, even though we didn't get much at all. So I'm just very happy to know that Bethesda is right on it and they're going to continue to give us more Doom because that series is awesome in this modern day. A long-rumored game called Starfield is finally announced. I feel like a lot of people were probably just insanely hyped at it because this was always a rumor, but it was never actually confirmed. And finally Bethesda says, yeah, we have a new IP in 25 years. That's a huge deal for a big publisher like this to have never made a new IP in that long, but they're finally doing it. They're actually doing something different, and it's not going to be out for a while. My guess is when he said next generation, he literally means the next generation of consoles, but either way, it's kind of exciting just knowing there's a new IP on the way. I'd say that I actually really appreciated the humor. I thought that Bethesda's press conference was fun. They had a good time with it, and they took to heart all of the comments and jokes people make, whether it's addressing Walmart Canada's leak of Rage 2 in a very funny manner, addressing everyone joking about how Skyrim is literally coming to every single platform. Will it be on your refrigerator next?
Also coming soon to Etch-a-Sketch, Motorola Pagers, and your Samsung Smart Refrigerator.
Oh, that's cool.
Or just addressing ideas like how everybody wants a new Elder Scrolls game and is wondering why we haven't gotten it yet, or everyone's just coming for Fallout and so forth. So I think that they nailed it in terms of just fun, having a good sense of humor, and getting us hyped because they're hyped. I've been Ryan Ramakrishnan, and that is how I feel about Bethesda's E3 2018 press conference. I found it to be really good. I think that they showed us excellent new DLC and sequels, and they know how to make very, very exciting first-person action games and shooters and open worlds. I'm excited for Bethesda's future, and I think E3 2018 justified that completely. I'd love to hear what you guys thought about Bethesda's press conference. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it so much.
In Vault 76, our future begins.